Let's talk about book number 4 in the Indiana Jones book series, The Expanded Adventures, as it's called, written by Rob MacGregor, just like the previous books, Indiana Jones and the Genesis Deluge. And this one, I was told, was the best of these early books. And I gotta say, after reading it, I would actually agree. I think this is the best one yet. I didn't really dislike any of the previous books by Rob MacGregor. They were all good, they all had good elements that I really enjoyed. This one, I don't know, it clicked more with me. So let me begin with the story. We're not gonna do any spoiler talk here. I would recommend reading these books all for yourself. But Genesis Deluge, it's about Noah's Ark. That's pretty much it. A Russian guy and his daughter are searching for it, and Indiana Jones obviously gets involved in it. And Indy's friend, Jack Shannon, who was introduced in the first book, Peril at Delphi, and he has appeared in the books, except the third one, and he's an interesting character and probably at his best in this one. He has a pretty big storyline here. Like, the first half of the book is centered around Jack Shannon and Indy doing stuff together in Chicago. And it's gangster stuff. We get a cameo by Al Capone, and he punches Indy in the face, which is a great scene. And yeah, I would say the first half of the book features all of that gangster stuff prominently. And then the second half is the travel to find, the Ark. I like Indy and Jack in this. I think Jack Shannon is the most interesting in this book, compared to the previous ones, where he's a fine character, he's a good supporting character, but I really enjoyed him in this one. And then, of course, we have Indy, and this is something I think I talked about with the previous book. Spoiler, big spoiler for the last book, but I already mentioned it there, and it's a point here, okay? In the last book, Indy got married to Deirdre Campbell, the main girl from the second book, Dance of the Giants, and she died. And it's still affecting him as a character in this book, which I appreciate. I like that this series isn't just random one-off Indiana Jones adventures. There is a plot and a narrative here, and they actually connect, and I like that. I like that very much. As for the ending, which was something I critiqued in the last book, is for some reason Rob MacGregor feels the need to connect the first books to Merlin. And I mean, it was cool when he did it the first time in the second book, because it's like, okay, we connect the ending of the second book to the ending of the first book. There is a connection there with the supernatural element, and it's Merlin. And then the third book, it seems like a standalone adventure, and then suddenly, Merlin also shows up. He's also connected. And I didn't like that at all, because it started to get really repetitive. And now this one, the ending is kind of similar, not gonna spoil, but thank God Merlin doesn't show up. He gets mentioned, and I actually like this one. Because, without, any spoilers, Indy has another experience with something supernatural, and he is like, oh no, is this Merlin? Is this Merlin related? And it isn't. So this came across as like a self-aware joke by MacGregor, that he realized he can't connect this to Merlin. Like, I enjoyed it. I think that was pretty funny. My biggest complaint is similar to the third book. It's the ending. I think the ending is really rushed. And I don't like it in this case, because I would have been fine if this book is like 20 pages longer, and we can have just a better ending. Like, the book is good, the story is good, I like the characters, I like the villains, that's all fine. And then the ending happens, but it's over so quick. Yeah, that would be my biggest complaint. I would still say it's a decent ending, And overall, I think this is a good book. Like I said, it's the best of the 4 I have read so far. And I would recommend it. I would definitely recommend this book, Genesis Deluge. Definitely. But yeah, the ending is my biggest complaint. Not really what happens, just that it happens a bit like too quickly. A couple more pages would have been nice. Alright, and next time we will talk about book number 5. Indiana Jones and the Unicorn's Legacy. It's certainly an intriguing title.